Good morning. Folks, I'm calling back into order the workshop meeting of the Commonwealth Transportation Board, which I recessed yesterday afternoon. We're going to call it back into order, and I'm going to adjourn it at this time. So the workshop meeting is over, and now we're going to call into order our action meeting. Great to be here this morning in Winchester. What a beautiful place, and it's just really nice to be in the Valley for a number of days here. We'll be heading to, or at least I and some of us will be heading to Bristol this evening, or this afternoon, actually this morning. We'll be there tonight, and then be back in Roanoke, Salem tomorrow. So we'll have spent about 4 days on the corridor, which is great for us. Really nice to be here. First item on the agenda this morning is I'm going to ask you to join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Every once in a while I say this, but you sort of do this. We've done this routinely since I was a little kid, stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance, and sometimes it just becomes very routine. You just say it, and sometimes I just think about it when I say it. And it's a little bit different if you think about the words and really what it means and what you're saying. So if you don't ever do that, try it sometime. It's kind of interesting. We will move to our public comment period. We have a number of people here from the public this morning. I know there's some folks that have signed up on our sheet, but I know we have some other folks. Delegate Wiley, are you here? Are you interested in speaking this morning?
I am, Mr. Secretary.
You are?
Yes, sir.
Come on forward, sir. Pleased to have you with us over the last couple of days.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and members of the CTB, and thank you for letting me speak this morning. First of all, I want to welcome you to Winchester. Certainly we had a good time last night, and we had good meetings here so far. You're at a great place. Winchester's quite a part of our great Commonwealth, and we have so many things that it's a great place to live, work, and play, and raise a family. Hope you had a chance to visit downtown. It's the downtown. We put a lot of work into that. It's our infrastructure is the oldest in the state of Virginia. In fact, it's the second oldest in the United States, behind Philadelphia. So take that into consideration. We put a lot of work into it, take pride in our downtown. Just a couple quick pointers here. Winchester right now is the fastest growing part of the Commonwealth. For the past 4 years, according to the Weldon Cooper study, this place has been rocking and rolling. So when you make your decisions in transportation, please take that into consideration for where we are and where we're going. Currently, 81 is, as you read your statistics like I do, we have 11.7 trucks per year that travel this highway. It is our main artery. It is basically our commerce. If that shuts down, we shut down. We do about $312 billion in goods per year in transportation along this interstate. 42% of statewide interstate truck VMT per year. 45 plus crashes per year with clearance times greater than 4 hours. Approximately 11,000 crashes over 5 years. Vehicle hours of delay in the Stanton district total over 500,000 compared to the Salem district at 300,000 and Bristol district, I'm rounding, at 126,000. Cost of congestion in the Stanton district is $29.3 million compared to the Salem district at $16.8 million and the Bristol district of $6.6 million. So moving forward, as we calculate and try to get our area taken into consideration for the improvements of 81, there's a lot of things we need to get done. But since we're growing, we hope that you can help us. As Ric Flair said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So thank you, Mr. Secretary, and welcome. Hope you have a successful meeting. Thank you.
That was perfect. Ric Flair. Come on. Thank you, Delegate Wiley. Mr. Mayor, loving having you here today. Thank you for being with us last night.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Appreciate
the time. I do want to welcome everybody, distinguished members of the CTB, to Winchester, any VDOT staff you may have, our regional partners, and others. We do want to appreciate all your critical efforts you did with many of our projects here in our area. Three I want to list: the Crossover Boulevard, which was critical in getting our traffic eastbound, westbound. Similarly, it was the Meadow Branch Extension. It's a little bit older, but it was vital to our east-westbound traffic, so thank you on that. And the last one I'm going to highlight is our trails at the museum, Shenandoah Valley, which we got to see last night, a little bit of them. That's for running, biking, walking, obviously not cars, but it really builds a healthy and united community. So I appreciate all your help on that. I do want to point out, as Delegate Wiley said, we are experiencing a huge growth, 8% almost since 2020. It's putting a big stress on our infrastructure. So I have with me Mike Ruddy, our Community Development Director, who will mention a couple of projects we have coming up that we could use your assistance with. So I welcome and thank everybody for visiting our lovely town. It's a small town charm, but it's getting pressed at the seams, so all your help is critical and appreciate it.
Fantastic place, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the Commonwealth Transportation Board, again, welcome to Winchester. Mike Ruddy. To build upon what the Mayor said, yes, the city is growing. There's a lot of needs within the city. Taking on that initiative, the city's jumped into what we're trying to really address that through some neighborhood design district efforts, which seeks to put some infrastructure in place and create some good locations where we can have redevelopment and accommodate the growth that's happening in a more reasonable, well thought out way. That investment is pretty huge from the city's side. We're doing a lot of tax increment financing type of projects where we're investing in a lot of the infrastructure. It would be very, very valuable to have VDOT's help with that investment that we see, again, in such a growing community. Right up the street, North Cameron Street, you may see some significant road improvement projects that are happening there associated with stormwater management and drainage. That's proceeding, nearly complete, with the help of about $10 million worth of VDOT money, so we appreciate that. And again, that's part of a redevelopment area, what is known as the Cider Hill, if you will. We have a great old town, downtown, which hopefully you've had the opportunity to visit, either this visit or in past visits. But we're looking to create new neighborhoods, again, to accommodate the growth that's happening, and any assistance we can get from VDOT and the CTB would be appreciated. The planning efforts that we've embarked upon with the county and with the MPO and VDOT staff through STAR Solutions, the Route 50, Route 7, currently the 522 projects are more than invaluable. They really do a good job in highlighting some of the needs of the area, and we look forward to hopefully getting some better funding outcomes for those, again, in the future. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize that we have a Winchester transit system that is very, very valuable to the citizens of Winchester. We continue to enhance that with some on-demand services that, again, really doing a good job serving the citizens of Winchester and reaching out to the community college. So again, any assistance that is provided through federal and state funding for those efforts is really well appreciated. And the Green Circle is one additional multimodal accommodation that the city has invested heavily in and continues to see as an important component of the city that connects to things such as the Museum of the Shenandoah Valley and enhances the great life that we already have here in the city for current residents and visitors alike. And to reiterate the one final point, and that's Interstate 81. Obviously, the city is very, very supportive of funding that project up in this area from 318 down to 312. I know those have been split into two particular project items, but most significant. You cannot overstate, if you will, the importance of the improvements to 81 for the region and in particular for the city too. So again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to add to the mayor's comments. and welcome to Winchester. One final thing that we would like to do is recognize VDOT staff and MPO staff that work with us very, very closely on all of the studies and efforts that I mentioned. It's very much appreciated. And thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Ruddy. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it very much. Mr. Jewell, are you, Mr. John Jewell? Welcome. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Secretary.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, sir. Great to see all of you, the honorable members of the Commonwealth Transportation Board. My name's John Jewell. I have the honor of serving on the Board of Supervisors of Frederick County, Virginia, and I'm here to thank you. We've got, we are like Delegate Wiley and the mayor just said, between Frederick County and Winchester, we are the fastest growing area in the state. We've got, Mr. Secretary, you hit it right on the head yesterday when you say we're trying to catch up with infrastructure and it's almost impossible to do. Yeah, it's just, no matter how much you plan, you're just always going after the next step. How can we improve? How can we make it better? And I'm here to thank you all. We have, because of round 6 of the Smart Scale program, we have exit 313 partial median U-turn being implemented. It's a very important part of between Winchester and Frederick County. Valley Mill Road alignment to Gateway Drive and Hayfield Route 50 R-Cut. I want to thank you for this because the R-Cut, we're talking safety here. We are very fortunate. Friday, we're having a new road that's opening up, the Renaissance Drive. It's been in process for years. And we're shutting down a road that we have so many kids cutting through. It's so dangerous. So thank you. Because of your help, we're able to get this completed. I also want to recognize, the support we've had for exit 317. It's going to be a diverging diamond. It's going to be a major project. It's going to just change how traffic flows up to the northern side of the county. We also are getting I-81, the widening between exit 313 and 318, and we have the Redbud Road alignment. We have several projects that you Crossover Boulevard was mentioned. That's a gateway between the county and the city, and it was tremendous, and we thank you for it. I also want to recognize our CTB board members, the local members. I want to thank, the Honorable Lawson, Honorable Good, because they come to our transportation meetings. They're there, they listen, and they go back, and it's greatly appreciated. Staff appreciates it. I also want to thank Mr. Merrill, who served. I had a great time with him, working with him. And, of course, this is a team effort. You've got Senator Timmy French and, Delegate Wiley and Delegate Oates, and then those locally here. And I'll finish up with this. VDOT. Everybody wants to pick on VDOT. VDOT's always not doing something. I got to tell you, Ed Carter's team is phenomenal. Ed Carter's team, Ed, when he says, John, call me, he means it. You call him and say, look, we got a problem going. And I want to thank you for that, and I want to thank you for all you're doing with your leadership. So, thanks, sir.
Thank you, Supervisor Jewell. When you start talking R-cuts and diverging diamonds, the commissioner's over here, and he's got a little gleam in his eye. I could just feel it. It's really good. Thank you, sir, very much. We also have one person that signed up to speak on behalf of some folks, I think, Mr. Tim Taylor. Tim, are you going to represent some folks here this morning? Board of Supervisors, Shenandoah County.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir.
Yeah, how you doing? Good morning, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. My name is Tim Taylor. I am a member of the Shenandoah County Board of Supervisors. I'm also the former mayor of the town of Strasburg, and I'm just one of many elected officials present here this morning from 12 governmental agencies along the 50-mile Norfolk Southern Rail Corridor. So in respect of your all's time, they asked me to be the spokesperson for this prestigious group. But before I proceed with my comments, I would like for them to at least introduce themselves. Please keep it brief. I know you're all elected officials and like to talk, but please just give me your jurisdiction and your title. So let's start with Rockingham County, please. You want from Rockingham? Didn't make it. Okay, Broadway.
Dave Jordan, Mayor of Town of Broadway.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Timberville.
Mayor.
Newmarket. Mayor Hughes couldn't make it, but he sent a letter there with their support. Mount Jackson. Edinburgh. Woodstock.
Laura Bennett, Town Council. Michelle Manning, Town Council.
Good old town of Strasburg.
Brandy Hawkins Boyce, Town of Strasburg.
Warren County.
Rich Jamison, Board of Supervisors.
Front Royal.
Glenwood, Town Council.
Lori Cochran, Mayor.
Right,
Town
and I
Council.
think I'm the only Shandong County. Okay, we have a lot of
You got
town.
everybody here, sir.
Yes, sir, we are filling the place up.
I want to know who's minding the store. That's what I'm talking about.
That's for sure. All right, well, now I'll try to keep my comments brief. First, thank you for the assessment work you're all doing, comparing the two options for the best use of this corridor. We look forward to its conclusion in the next few months as the impartial VDOT numbers comparing the two options will strongly support our collective vision for the development of the Shandor Rail Trail as the highest and best use of this community resource at this time. As you know, our government agencies formally came together in 2019, along with 2 local planning districts and 3 local nonprofits to form the Shandor Rail Trail Exploratory Partnership. Norfolk Southern put the corridor up for sale the following year. In 2021, the jointly conducted feasibility study by DCR and VDOT included 22 formal resolutions of support, including unanimous resolutions of support passed by all of the 12 elected governmental agencies before you this morning. The feasibility study also contained a Metro Quest survey with over 9,000 respondents who overwhelmingly supported the creation of a multi-use trail. That, of course, was before a rail with trail option was being considered. We are here today so that you can see our faces and hear our unified voices as one, that the vast majority of our community leaders and our constituents still believe that the highest and best use of this corridor at this time is to create a multi-use trail. This will benefit the most people for the least investment in the shortest time while protecting the rail corridor for possible future use. When you make your decision, please keep that in mind. Thank you again for all you do for our communities and for the Commonwealth.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Appreciate everybody being here today. It's really noteworthy, so thank you very much. All right, that's all we have for public comment this morning. So we're going to move to the next, the first numbered item on our agenda. Action on approval of notice of intended regulatory action. Oh, excuse me. I forgot the minutes. We're going to do the minutes. The minutes were distributed to the board in advance. Ms. Sellers moves approval. Ms. Green seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. With any abstentions? Thank you, Ms. Mathis.
Abstention.
Abstention?
Mr.
You
Chairman,
weren't
since
here.
I was not present, please note
Yes,
my
sir.
abstention.
Yes, sir. Mr. Minshew was not here. We're not going to let you do that anymore. 4 years. Item number 1, action on approval of notice of intended regulatory action in conjunction with periodic regulatory review of 24 VAC 330-120 rules and regs controlling outdoor advertising and directional and other signs and notices. Ms. Maxwell. That's a
Mr.
mouthful.
Chair, members of the board, VDOT is seeking the board's approval for the agency to file a notice of intended regulatory action as part of the periodic review for the outdoor advertising regulations. Pursuant to this action, you will be approving the documentation that we would be filing, as well as providing authority for VDOT to go ahead and take the necessary actions. Once the proposed regulations are ready and drafted, they will be brought back to the board for its review.
We're just moving along the regulatory process here, folks. Are there any comments or questions? Is there a motion to approve? Ms. Sellers moves. Is there a second? Second. Mr. Good seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Item number 2, action on the revised FY 26 to 31 6-year improvement program transfers for May 17, 2025 through June 30, 2025, June 20, 2025, including greater than threshold highway construction district grant transfers. That's a lot of words too, Kim.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Pryor.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. The first item I have for you is approval of the monthly transfers. As the secretary noted, this month there are 4 transfers on the report that are district grant transfers that exceed the threshold in the board's policy. Additional information on each of those is required as attached to the monthly transfer report, and I recommend your approval.
Are there comments or questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve? So moved. Mr. Gribben moves and Mr. Good seconds. Second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you, Ms. Pryor. Number 3, action on addition of projects to the 6-year improvement program for fiscal years 2026 through 2031. Ms. Pryor.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I have a list of 27 projects to amend to the 6-year program. 26 of them are new SGR local paving projects in the Hampton Roads District. Recall, when we did the 6-year program update, they did not allocate all of the available funds, so we did a supplemental round, and that's what these paving projects are. In addition, there's one locally funded project in the Northern Virginia District on the list as well, and I recommend your approval.
Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve? Second. Dr. Smoot moves. Mr. Good seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Item number 4, Ms. Pryor, action on smart scale project cancellation, Route 1 at East Glebe Road intersection improvements, UPC 1190087, located within the Northern Virginia District. Ms. Pryor.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I recall I briefed the board last month on a requested cancellation of this project. The City of Alexandria received funding for this project in round 4 of Smart Scale, and after it was selected, they did some evaluation and determined that the community disruption resulting from the project would outweigh the benefits associated with it. And so they've requested cancellation, and I recommend your approval.
You know, this is not to pick on this project, but it is, you go through a lot of work to get here, and then you decide you don't want it. It's a lot of wasted work, a lot of wasted time. Wish we could somehow get ahead of that and figure that out before, but these things happen, I get it, but people, resources are precious, right? All right, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve? Mr. Gribben moves. Ms. Dunlop seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much, Ms. Pryor. Appreciate it. Mr. Heltzel, action on limited access control changes for the roundabout at the intersection of Route 631 and John Warner Parkway, County of Albemarle, located in the Culpeper District. Sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. The project creates a roundabout where we previously had a signalized intersection, and because of that design, we are going to have to shift some of these limited access lines in one quadrant of the intersection. The department held 2 public hearings. The project is covered by appropriate environmental documentation, and we also have a letter of support from Albemarle County. With your favorable dispensation, we'll move on to securing right-of-way for the project, and I do recommend your approval of these changes.
Thank you, Mr. Heltzel. Are there any comments or questions? Captain Byers, there's a motion to approve? Yes, sir. Is there a second? Second. Ms. Dunlop seconds. Oh, she's got a question. That's what that means. I got you. Ms. Dunlop has a question.
Yes, I'm just curious, since I've experienced this issue in other parts of the Commonwealth. Is the roundabout designed to handle all of the size vehicles, like pickups with cattle trailers behind them and so forth?
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Dunlap, I'm sure the engineers took those items into consideration. The connecting routes probably limit some of those vehicles anyway, but to answer your question, fundamentally, yes.
It's going to be able to handle all those things?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Dunlop, anyone else? So we have a motion and we have a second. Are there further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much, Mr. Heltzel.
Thank you.
Margie Ray. It's not Margie Ray. Ronee, action on approval of federal safety performance targets for calendar year 2026.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. The item before you is to consider the federal 2026 safety performance targets that were briefed to you last month by Margie Ray, and I recommend your approval.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve? Ms. Sellers moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Good seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. With any abstentions? Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Mr. Hoffrichter, good morning, sir. Hope you're well.
Morning, sir.
Item number 7, action on final regulatory amendments in response to public comments, land use permit regulations 24 VAC 30-151. Mr. Hoffrichter.
Yes, sir. This is the follow-on action to yesterday's presentation, letting VDOT move ahead with responding to VCTA and finalizing the land use permit regulation changes.
Let me just say a couple things here on these regulatory things we're doing. You know, when the governor set a goal for 25% regulatory cuts in Virginia, and he announced just a few days ago that we've reached that. And during that announcement, he highlighted that VDOT was one of the main contributors to that because they are so big and they have so many regulations, it sort of goes with the territory. But the point is they dug in and did exactly what they needed to do. Nobody got hurt here. A lot of people got helped. And we're going to double down on that now, as the governor has indicated, by using some AI to help us even consolidate it even more. And so they don't want to do that willy-nilly. It'll be done, and people will look at it and make decisions. But we're hopeful maybe we can even get up to 35% before we're finished. And you know, and what does that do for you? Well, obviously, we sort of all understand what it does. The latest figure I saw in the building industry was it took $24,000 out of the average home building price in Virginia. And like, you know, I'm going through some stuff right now that's silly, I shouldn't have to do, that's costing me lots of money, and it's driving me crazy. I'm like, stop being silly, folks. You know, we can't be perfect. Don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. And sometimes that's what happens, well-intended, but that's what happens sometimes. So I'm excited when we're able to do these things. VDOT has a consistent process for reviewing regulations, but we've sped it up, and Joanne and the Commissioner and others have dug into this and really done a nice job. So those are my comments, Mr. Hoffrichter. But are there any comments or questions on this item? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve? Dr. Smoot moves. Is there a second? Mr. Davis seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you, Mr. Hoffrichter. Item number 8, Ben's back. Yes, Mr. Coker. Item number 8 is bids.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary.
How we doing?
Members of the board, we're doing excellent today. How are you?
Great, sir. Thank you.
I have one project today. It is in the Salem District. It's order M56. It's 2 UPCs listed on your slide. This is an acceleration lane extension project on the 81 corridor in Montgomery, Pulaski counties. We received 3 bids. Low bid from Caton Construction for $6.8 million. This is within range. I'm recommending award. We'll be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Coker, were you here the last meeting?
I was not, sir. Apparently I was at the DMV, right?
I don't think he was here, and we didn't get to ask him any questions, and now he comes in with just one bid, and it's within range. I think we need to ask him some questions. What do you think? Let's just get some questions from Mr. Coker today. We're letting him off too easy. Are there any comments or questions on the presentation?
Mr. Secretary?
Yes, sir.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Laird.
As I understand it, because of all these somewhat federally funded projects, we live with an under DBE, disadvantaged business enterprise program, that we have to adhere to. What that does is, in the rural areas, and it might apply to the Salem district also, certainly Mr. Folks's area, it causes what I have read and heard, it causes us to spend more than maybe we normally would have to in order to comply with these federal standards. A federal judge in Kentucky has found that particular clause in the process to be unconstitutional based on conflict with a part of the Constitution, equal representation, equal opportunity. My question is, and I've also read that it will potentially reduce costs by 6% over the course of these contract bids. I do know that, talking to some contractors, that they're having difficulty meeting those requirements. Is that something we are still doing in our bidding process, requiring DBE? And then two, is that something that we could get an opinion on to maybe eliminate that or alter our approach?
Mr. Laird, that's not a question for Mr. Coker. The commissioner may weigh in here.
I'm going to weigh in. Mr. Secretary, Mr. Laird, and members of the board, we are constantly monitoring what is happening at the federal level with regard to the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program today. You are correct that there has been a constitutional ruling on it. We do have guidance that has been issued out with regard to that ruling. However, we need to be mindful that the Civil Rights Act still is applicable today. That has not been vacated. So this is one area where we continue to work with the Attorney General's Office, the Federal Highway Administration, and USDOT to continue to seek guidance on the DBE program. Having said that, we're also bound by state code about the small women-owned and minority program that has set goals for our program or the state program as well, seeking those types of enterprises into our program as well. So we are still bound by the Civil Rights Act. We are still bound by the state code making said requirements. We are aware that the DBE program is strained, and it's not just in Virginia. It is nationwide, whereby goals have been set, and there are expectations. There are avenues when contractors cannot meet those goals and work in good faith to meet those goals. So this is an evolution that we're constantly monitoring, and as federal guidance continues to come out and court rulings may challenge it or may not, we'll adjust our program accordingly.
Mr. Laird, anyone else? All right, are there any comments or questions on this bid? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Dr. Smoot moves, Ms. Sellers seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you, Mr. Coker. Appreciate it. The next item on our agenda is new business. I don't believe there's any new business to bring before the board. So if there is not, I'm going to adjourn this meeting. Before I do, I want to thank all the folks who worked to get us to be able to be here. Mr. Lawson and Mr. Good and Mr. Laird all were fantastic hosts for us from our board over the last day or so. Last night was fantastic, and so thank you very much for that. What a beautiful place we get to come. I love this hotel, by the way. Every time I come here, it seems to work well. And it's just, Mr. Mayor, you got a heck of a town here, sir. And I understand why it's growing. just try to hang on. Hang on as best you can. But we're pleased to be here. We do understand the 81 importance and the importance of this part of the Commonwealth, and we're focused on it. To our trail friends, we're working through that process, and we'll come out in the early fall with I've got a draft on my desk for phase 2 right now, so we'll get that moving and get to phase 3, and we'll come out with something in early fall that gives some more information there. I'm really pleased, and also our staff. I've done this game before earlier in my life, and it takes a lot of work to go on the road. All this stuff just doesn't appear here. These guys in the back, all this gear, all these people, Carol and her team and everybody else, it makes all this smooth and works great. And to your folks here, Commissioner, beat up people in the district. Just appreciate everything y'all do. So with that, I'll bid you adieu. You all have a great and safe day. Please remember, zipper merge. The left lane is for passing. It's not for cruising. Remember that. And you now have to wear seatbelts no matter where you are in the vehicle. And we do that not because we're trying to be big brother, you know, but, and I get that piece. I got a little bit of that in me too. But I got to tell you, you know, we just had another death a couple days ago, and somebody was ejected from a vehicle without a seatbelt on, and there you go. And listen, it's just not okay. You know, if we can, there's a little bit of pain here and a little bit of trampling, I get that, but if we can save some lives, folks, we're still at 900 a year. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, that's just, we're 900 a year are dying on the roads of Virginia every year. And if we could save 100 or 200 by making them wear their seatbelts, I think it's worth it. I just think it is. So we got to keep working on that, as I've reminded folks at the time. And they're all tragedies, but when that plane crashed in DCA, it was, I think, 67 people. And that happens every month on the highways in Virginia. It just happens one here and two there and one here and one there. Not the same number. And we got to find ways to stop that. So with that, have a great day. Please drive safely. This meeting's adjourned.